Hey, all you creative string players out there, Jacob here with you, and it's 2 a.m. here in LA, but I really need to practice. So with my sleeping 3-month-old son and wife in the room next door, I thought now would be a perfect time to share with you what I consider to be the ultimate string practice rig. Now, this rig works great with solid body instruments, but also is easily modified for acoustic instruments with a pickup, and I generally use it for both, depending on what time of day it is. I shared an Instagram story on this a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of you guys loved it, so I thought I would put it up on YouTube just to make it a little bit more permanent so you can reference it whenever you want. Okay, first off, we've got my trusty Yamaha SVC 110. Now, what I absolutely love about this instrument, other than the fact that it has the most natural sound and feel of any electric instrument out there, is the fact that the Yamaha instruments, the violins and the cellos and the violists, were designed for practicing as much as they were for live performance. That's why they're called Yamaha silent violins and cellos. I bet you didn't know that. See, in Japan, where everything is really closed quarters, they wanted to design a line of instruments that made it easy and practical to practice at home. But what does it mean when I say these instruments were actually created and designed with practicing in mind? First off, the Yamaha has 3 input jacks. One just for auxiliary inputs. So you can plug in your iPad and work with your background tracks and your metronome and have it all mixed independently into your signal chain, right? And of course, everything is battery powered and self-contained, which is really nice for hotel rooms, traveling, etc., etc. Also, this instrument has built-in reverbs, which is the one kind of essential effect every string player needs on their sound all the time, right? Especially when you're listening direct. When I first heard about that, before I actually owned and played a Yamaha, I thought, yeah, but that's probably not going to sound very good. Well, the reverbs are quite serviceable, and they sound excellent, particularly in headphones, in my experience. So even though when I play live, I have a reverb pedal that I really, really like, for practicing, this keeps me nice and self-contained, right? And again, like with anything in practicing, the easier and more convenient things are, the more likely you are to just pick up your instrument, get going, and get to work. Okay, so taking a look at the stand here, obviously I've got my iPad for all of my tracks and tunes, and there are a few things I'm working on here. Didier Lockwood solo I'm going to do a class on, some Seamus Blake that I've been transcribing. And as we go down, oh, Starbucks. That's absolutely critical right there. Probably the most important tool in the arsenal. But seriously, folks, right here we've got my amazing RC30 loop station. Now, I did a whole class about looping and different loopers and how to choose the one you want, but I absolutely love this one. When it comes to practicing, convenience is the key to success, right? You want to bank on your own laziness and have all of your tools right there where you need them, as easy to use as possible. Practicing with a looper all the time means that I have the ability to record myself quickly and easily right at my feet. I don't even have to pick up the bow or not. So even for classically trained players, I can't recommend enough to do all of your practicing with a looper pedal. It's just a step or two faster than a tape recorder or a Zoom or any of those handheld recorders out there. And again, the easier it is, the more convenient it is, the more you're going to use those tools. So, as I'm sure you can agree, we all need to be recording ourselves as much as possible. Probably the best way to practice. Okay, so 2 things I love about the RC30. First of all, there's an aux input, which means I can loop in my background track or my metronome or whatever I'm working on and hear how I was grooving or playing or not playing in tune with whatever I was practicing with, right? So that's super critical. So I've got the entire mix in my headphones when I do the loop playback. Like the Yamaha cello, the RC30 also can be battery powered. So again, you can just have it in your suitcase or just have it out, not even plugged into anything, which makes practicing that much more convenient. Another thing I love about the RC30 is the fact that it has a phantom-powered XLR jack if you need it. So if I'm practicing acoustically with my really nice classical instrument, which I don't put a pickup on, I can plug in my DPA 4099 and I'm good to go. Any type of successful practicing is predicated on banking on your own laziness. You ever notice how if you leave your cello out instead of in the case, you're more likely to just pick it up and start practicing? Well, having a looper really uses that same idea. We all know we're supposed to be recording ourselves all the time and that it's the best way to practice. The thing is that even those handy-dandy handheld recorders like Zooms or even your iPhone or your iPad take a little bit extra time to put your bow down, hit record, hit stop, listen back. With a looper at your feet and headphones in your ears, all of a sudden recording yourself becomes as easy as it could possibly be. I don't even have to put the bow down. And that level of convenience means I'm going to practice and record myself more. From one of the outputs of the Boss, I plug straight into this little headphone amplifier by Electro-Harmonix. It sits on my belt pack, costs about 50 bucks, and allows me to listen to my cello coming out of the looper in stereo. Once again, like everything we've discussed, it's battery powered, so this all fits into a very small bag. You can take it on the road with you, which makes this practice setup ideal for any situation. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this look into my practicing rig. If you like this video, you can click subscribe below, or you can go to our website at www.thepickuptest.com to learn all about pickups, electric instruments, effects, and how to use them from experts who've really tried all this stuff and aren't trying to sell you anything. Hope you join us there. We'll see you soon.